Hi everyone. I first off wanted to start this video off by telling you thank you for all the wonderful comments on my last video. I know I've fallen way behind in producing videos. I refrain from calling it content because content suggests you're, in my opinion, you're making something for entertainment value. I see this more as me just sharing myself with you all who may be a customer or maybe a fellow soap maker who just like to commiserate with other soap makers or whatever the case may be. And I don't put as much thought into my videos as a lot of other soap makers do and other creators, and I am in awe of those people. The production value on some of those is beyond my comprehension abilities, at least as far as my interest goes. I'm just not that interested in putting the effort into the videos as much as I am in putting the effort into making the products, which is sort of what I wanted to talk to you about today. Today we're going to be cutting two different soaps. My Patchouli, Patchouli Bison, made with Soapy Oaks Farm Bison Tallow and scented with patchouli essential oil, colored with alkanet root, indigo, and I was going to put purple clay in this one, but actually did not. So this is just the alkanet and indigo, and I really like the variation I'm able to get with it. And then this is my Eucalyptus Bison bars, which is Bison Tallow, scented with eucalyptus essential oil, and colored with spirulina, green sea clay, and something else, and spinach powder. Sorry, I sometimes, or wheatgrass in this case, I think. Anyway, I apologize. They both smell wonderful, and you know, one of the things I realized when cutting these is how wonderful they are together. Something I had never considered. I'm sure others have. But the idea of mixing patchouli and eucalyptus never occurred to me. But when I was holding both of these before I started this video, the scent of both of them together is just mesmerizing and just quite a revelation to me. So in the near future, you're probably going to see me making a patchouli eucalyptus blend. Okay, that aside, before we get into the cutting, I can't say enough about soaping on any particular day, but you've probably seen in the news about the major floods here in Texas. There have been a lot of deaths, approaching 100, including children, the elderly. Just a lot of people have died. And I'll let the media and the politicians have their way with all of this, because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of blame to go around and accusations. But more than anything, we need to think about those families who have lost those people and what they're going through right now. I never say I'm sending my hopes and prayers or those sort of thoughts and prayers, those sort of things, because those things aren't very useful by most standards. If you believe that praying for someone actually will affect a change in their grief and you want to do that, then please do. I personally believe that putting your hands to work is useful as well. And that's why I'm taking a road trip by invitation. I'm not going to get in the way, but I'm going to help some people to do some cleanup and I won't go into it much further than that because I'm not tooting my own horn, these are fellow Texans. These are people dealing with things that I can only imagine. I've been through great loss in my own life, so I can empathize, but no two losses are the same. Hurt you feel is no less or no more than hurt that I feel. And I think it's always a mistake to assume that we can understand what other people are going through, but we can certainly empathize and sympathize where necessary for what people are going through. So please give to the American Red Cross. They're a great organization that I give to, and I will put a link here, and I really hope that you will give to it. And if you do, put it in the comments, or just leave me a comment either way. I want to make very clear something else. I'm not dissing prayer. I'm not dissing religion, disregarding those things. Not at all. I'm just saying, for me, I always feel like I need to do that a little more, and because it's not a long, let's be honest, we're only talking about an hour drive for me to go and help, okay? If I lived 1,000 miles away, would I still be doing this? Probably not. So, okay, so some of this is convenience. I'm no saint, and I'm only doing what I can because I can. And a lot of the reason I can is because of the support I get from my wonderful customers and viewers. Thank you for that. So, if I haven't bummed you out, come on along with me, and we're going to cut these soaps. Now, I did previously cut these and film it, but I didn't do audio for that, so you won't have to listen to me voice over about it. You'll hear me talking about it while I'm actually doing it. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you in just a second. Hi, everyone. All right. So we're cutting two different soaps today. These are my Eucalyptus Tallow, Bison Tallow bars. These I tend to sell out a little slower than many of my others. Not that I don't think people don't like eucalyptus, but I think it is more of a just less popular, and I'm not sure why. I love it. It's very, very uplifting, refreshing, a bit of a bracing eucalyptus smell, which I really like, but I know that's not for everyone. But I'm down to like 20 or 30 bars of it, so I knew it was time to remake it. So this is another 50 bars, and these look really pretty good. I don't do a lot of swirling in these. It's whatever happens as I'm pouring. It's an in the mold swirl. It just means I pour it in, and if it swirls, we get swirls, and if it doesn't swirl, we don't get that many swirls. And I do try to do a little bit on the top to give it a little bit of variation, but you'll see some of these have a lot more swirling than others, but they are still one of my favorites. I love the smell of eucalyptus, and maybe that's because I grew up in Northern California, near wine country, and eucalyptus were everywhere, and a lot of people, they were actually planted there as windbreaks for the orchards many decades ago, long before I was ever born. And some of these trees are very, very old, and eucalyptus peel and drop their bark, and a lot of people certainly don't like that in their yards and things like that. I never cared, and my father never minded eucalyptus. I actually found it a lot of fun. And what's funny is that there are actually a lot of craftspeople now that do things with eucalyptus bark, which I think is really cool. I love when people can make something useful and beautiful out of what to a lot of people is a waste product. I've shown in one of my videos before, the farm, I have a rainbow eucalyptus here, and I love the bark off of it. Anyway, I think these came out quite nice, but it doesn't have the eucalyptus scent that these certainly do have. And eucalyptus is used in a lot of spas, and I know that in many Nordic countries they use them in their saunas, use eucalyptus to evaporate and give that uplifting and what a lot of people believe is a healthful benefit to those saunas. And I know a lot of people make shower steamers that you put in your shower to get that uplifting eucalyptus fragrance, which I think is really cool too. And I'm actually going to be making some of those in, I don't know if it'll be the very next video, but an upcoming video. I've never really personally been a fan of shower steamers. I don't see what the big deal is about them. I like bath bombs, those are fun. But shower steamers, yeah, I get the concept of, you know, getting the nice, the fumes, as it were, from the steamer in the shower. I think that's really cool. But it's just simply something that I personally have not, but I'm not as, I'm a bath taker, and I know a lot of people don't. And especially, I think there are a lot of men that are more, prefer to take showers and not baths. So the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to do a different soap here after this, but it's another strongly scented soap. But I don't want it to smell like eucalyptus. So I'm just cleaning my wires real good before that. And matter of fact, I'm going to spray a little water on here and clean the tray itself off. May seem like a lot of unnecessary work, but it's important. I actually have a second one of these cutters for unscented soaps. And for this one, just make sure, and this is something, if you're a soap maker, you should do too, clean the wires very good in between cuts, and clean the tray where the soap actually sits on it, because it can take up scents from other soaps. So you want to be just aware of that. And now I'm going to do, like I said, this one is a strongly scented one too. This is Patchouli. Again, this one can be, I know, a little divisive. Some people just love patchouli, and some people don't care for it. I am a fan. This is one I do personally like. Apparently a lot of my customers do. I go through a couple hundred of these a month. With eucalyptus, maybe 150 a month, but these 200, 250. I think last month I did like 270. But it's in that general vicinity. So I'll show you the swirls on these. And because I'm having to make so many soaps, I don't spend a lot of time on swirls and things like that. Like I said, these are just in the pot or in the mold swirls by pouring alternate color. And if I didn't tell you, the eucalyptus are colored with spirulina, green sea clay, and wheatgrass. And the patchouli is scented with alkanet, woad, and indigo. And let's see, what was I going to... And in case you're wondering, why are you not wearing gloves? I do have gloves right here that sometimes I do use, but I just scrubbed my hands very good, cleaned my nails, my cuticles. My hands are perfectly clean, so I enjoy touching the soap, and it doesn't leave fingerprints on them. I've cleaned all of the oils off my hands, and so it's okay. And I do generally, when cutting soaps, especially when I'm doing the, again, go back to the unscented. And this is something probably for all of you too, that if you're a soap maker, we have some, let me speak for myself. I have some customers that are highly susceptible to scent. They have conditions, or I don't know if they're conditions. I don't like that word. It seems a little dismissive. But they, for whatever reason, they may be sensitive to scents. And some of them cannot stand the smell of essential oils even, or certain ingredients. They just don't, it's more than disliking it. It makes them sick. So you have to take great care when dealing with these sort of things. For instance, I have specific soap molds just for doing unscented. I have an area of my soaping area, where I actually do put together my unscented products so that they don't get cross-contaminated. I package them separately in a separate area because, this is no exaggeration, I've had customers before tell me that they could smell the scents on the packaging from other products, right? And when they would tell me, for instance, the packaging on my soap, or whatever it may be, or lotion or cream, smells like Lang Lang or smells like something else. If there is even let's say a bar of eucalyptus soap was sitting here, okay, on the counter, and then I put down paper and wrapped a package with it, the next person, one of those, or I should say, the person that gets that package, if they're one of those people that are very sensitive, or very, sensitive seems like the wrong word, but very aware of fragrance and things like that, it can be very bothersome to them. So you have to make these kind of concessions for those customers. It's not a concession. Again, I'm short on words sometimes, but I don't mind doing those. I recently had a customer who asked me if I could make my shampoo without hemp oil because he is in the military and they test for THC, and I informed them that the hemp oil that I use is tested for THC by the manufacturer, and that it was less than 0.001% of hemp oil or of THC in it, which wouldn't even register in most tests. But for him, he said that wasn't good enough. And so I said, well, I tell you what, I'll make you a custom one, and we won't use hemp oil in it. We ended up not making it all because they felt like it was just too big of a risk. Once, I guess their fear was that even because I do use hemp oils in my products, that even though I'm telling them that I could make them one without hemp oil, their concern was that there was still a possibility of cross-contamination or something, which I understand, especially, you know, military. Sorry, I haven't been showing you these, but they're not terribly showy. But that's something that you do have to take in consideration for your customers. There are a lot of reasons why people have special needs or requirements, and I've learned some of these things myself recently. But I just wanted to bring you all along, just spend a little time with you, and I got such nice feedback on my last video, so I thought, hey, I need to cut these soaps. I didn't film making them, but I've done plenty of films making these two bars before, so this is just a repeat of those, so you didn't need to see me remake them. But if you're new here to the channel, you're wondering how I make these, if you just go back and look at my catalog, you'll see me making these and many other bars. And I do have an upcoming video of me making a goat milk soap, so come back soon, and please enjoy that with me. But thank you again, everyone. It's always a pleasure getting to visit with you all, and I want to thank you again. Have a terrific day, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.